Time for Uncle Hank. Question everything with M. Kalani Souza and Uncle Hank Ferguson.
Hi there, gang. Welcome back to Uncle Hank, where we question everything. I'm Kalani Souza.
And I am Uncle Hank Ferguson.
Uncle Hank Ferguson, and we're here to raise some questions. And, these are some questioning times. Even as we speak, the Russian invasion forces are continuing to assault unjustly the people of the Ukraine. And not to be remiss, our local politicians, and I gotta admit, it's a pretty political move. Our local politicians are jumping on the bandwagon and creating a resolution to support the Ukrainians, which is, admirable if it wasn't for the political leanings. So anyway, the city council passes a resolution to support the Ukraine against the illegal occupation by Russia and the use of force by Russia, all acts of war, which is interesting because I want to ask Uncle Hank about this. My big question is, how come they're mentioning the Ukraine, but they're very slow to pick up the fact that the United States is equally as guilty for those kinds of war infractions right here in Hawaii, where one would think truth-telling and government representation would go hand in hand?
It's actually quite interesting because this is a very pertinent subject, because what had happened along with this resolution was an amendment that was offered, not necessarily utilized, but it was an amendment for the people of the county, asking, how can you talk about Ukraine and not bring up the Hawaiian Kingdom? We're living in the Hawaiian Kingdom where we're going through the exact same thing that Ukraine has gone through. Ours is prolonged, but it's the same exact function.
Legal function, he means by that, gang. So we're in an illegally occupied territory being governed quite illegally by the laws of another nation without any treaty, without any agreement by the kingdom to participate in this way. Is that correct?
That's correct. And this is why we keep on bringing up this question of jurisdiction. And we're going to keep bringing it up until people start understanding what is the question. What is jurisdiction?
So we're not saying that we aren't sympathetic to things that happen in Europe.
Oh, we're very sympathetic.
Between European nations drawing boundaries, because in fact the Hawaiian Kingdom was treated and recognized by those same European nations.
As a matter of fact, we were the first non-white country to be recognized in the family of nations.
Oh, the first non-white. Maybe
Yes.
That explains the slow response to the illegal occupation of Hawaii. I'm saying that so. I'm just questioning everything.
Hey, you want to know a fast one too? Right when they took over the Hawaiian Kingdom, Japan just got the letter from Hawaii, from the Hawaiian Kingdom, recognizing them to be a country that is up for international recognition also.
Uh-huh. What's up with
At
that?
the same time that they're overthrowing the Hawaiian Kingdom.
So maybe there's a bit of Europhobia going on out here in the Pacific. Maybe we're just afraid of the Europeans a little bit. I don't know. I hope not. I'd like to think that we think all people are welcome. I know I certainly welcome everybody.
And we certainly welcome everybody.
but
And what we need to do is change the narrative in our minds.
we need to do this as a corrective measure. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
That's correct. It's just understanding what happened. If you understand what happened, then it's not hard to make the transition, because there's really no transition.
Right.
Okay.
We don't want to be a representative of something illegal and
Yeah.
ongoing, perhaps extractive, and perhaps more demeaning to one group of people than another.
And so how you can help understand this is the sovereignty of the Ukrainian people and their nation is none other than the same sovereignty that we have as the Hawaiian Kingdom.
Uh-huh.
And we've been taken over illegally, just as Russia is illegally taking over Ukraine.
Yeah. So solidarity for sure.
Yes, we certainly are in solidarity because we understand this. And the world needs to understand how this mechanism moves. Okay, because Russia is threatening all of Europe, not just not just the Ukraine.
Right. And we have to question why it is our local government would feel compelled to say something about an injustice half a world away while they continue to ignore what's right here in our home.
All unjust. All unjust. Without any jurisdiction whatsoever, they've been doing this to us.
Well, let's keep on asking questions, gang. Let's get ourselves to the other side of this problem.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for attending.
Come be a part of a minority view.
Ao he pau ike, I ka halau ho o kahi.